just really quickly. The book, Miseducation of the Negro, Carter G. Woodson. Check this out. Now, when I tell you that black people indeed do have a sickness, and that sickness has to do with dealing with each other in unity and productivity. Carter G. Woodson talks about a very specific point of unity and productivity that is a deficit in our community that not only is true within the community, but other nations see that deficit and they take advantage of it. We'll say that one more time. Other nations see that deficit and they indeed do take advantage of it, y'all. Peep this out. This is chapter 7, Miseducation of the Negroes, hirelings in the place of public servants. Now watch this. Watch what Carter says. Just be patient and listen to this first page. If the highly educated Negroes have not learned better the simple lessons of life, one cannot expect the laboring classes to conduct themselves differently. In the large number of cases, the employers of Negroes in common labor, in which most of them are now engaged, assert that there is no hope, listen, there is no hope for advancement of the Negroes in their employment, because Negroes will not work under foremen of their own color. One more time. Negroes will not work under foremen of their own color. Now watch this. In other words, the average Negro has not yet developed to the point that one is willing to take orders from another of his own race. While it is true that such an answer is often given as a mere excuse, check this, a mere excuse for not placing Negroes in responsible positions when it can be done without any particular trouble. And that is an excuse that white people do. They tend to not place Negroes in prominent positions when it's possible and, really necessity to do, because of this very fact that they like to point out. Negroes can't work together. White people say that about you, and Carter G. Woodson is going to agree with the consensus, and so do I. And so do you if you're living in truth. Most of us can't get together because we can't work together. We can't take instruction, correction, orders from each other. That's a sickness. One more time, that is a sickness. Now watch what he says. The investigation among the Negroes themselves, not the consensus of white people, but also the investigation among the Negroes themselves, he says, reveals numerous facts to prove that there is more truth than falsehood in this statement. True. Even in the hood, if you go and take a poll, just go and do an experiment. Go in your house. You brothers that have a wife, go in your house, and you know that you are supposed to be the head of the house. Supposed to be, because some of you brothers are doormats, and but go in your house, do this experiment. Go in your own house and give an instruction. See if, number one, your spouse and your children follow that instruction. See if that sickness is first present in your own home. And if it is present in your own home, address it. Fix it. And even if it's present in your own mentality, your own psyche, address it, because indeed that is a sickness. To not be able to work with your brothers simply because they're black. That's crazy. Hold on, let me get this. The dog is eating and I don't like her crunching while I'm talking because it's distracting, so hold on one second. Come on, you gotta go outside because you chewing too loud. Here, sister. Go ahead. Do your thistle right there. Now, watch this. Again, the consensus or the investigation among Negroes themselves reveals numerous facts to prove that there is more truth than falsehood to this statement. Hundreds of employers of Africans hundreds of employers of African blood frankly say that they will not work on a Negro. That's our people saying, we will not work under a Negro. And you know that's true. Go at your job, look at your job. Most of you all that have a black supervisor, most of you called him a coon. Instead of finding out what he did to get there and you following that. Not as somebody that's a servant or somebody that's, being oppressed and forced to learn. But listen, you can't be successful when you look at everybody successful as if they are a plague to you, and especially your own people. There's too much of that going on in the community. And I suggest to you, this is why even the white man still don't respect you in this country. Because he sees the deficit in our people. And I've said this many times before. Even with black business, even Carter G. Woodson speaks about this in another chapter. He says that other nations, other races see in us the fact that we're so starved for progression that we will take any opportunity at higher learning, which is a good thing, positive thing. Going to college in any aspect can be positive when you apply yourself. But watch this. Can't win for losing. Many of us get overly enthralled with going to college and higher learning, and we forget that mom and pop shops are not being developed in the communities. Personal businesses, family businesses, entrepreneurs are not being created in the community. Why? Because they've been trained in the thought that I need to work for somebody else to be successful. I need to get a check instead of writing my own check. This is the mentality that we're dealing with today. And Carter G. Woodson talked about even that. And those are two major deficits. Hey, stop. Two major deficits in our people. The fact that we will not work under each other, and the fact that we will not stay in the community and build businesses. Build the economy of our community. Let's wrap this up. He says, one is afraid that the other may prosper more than he does and be recognized accordingly. Now, ain't we looking at that today, even in the conscious community? All of these Negroes hate those that are excelling. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's going to be absolutely perfect in every area of business, area of morality and dealing with their brothers and sisters. But watch this. Positivity and progress is something that should be modeled and learned from. And you eat the meat and spit the bones. You don't destroy your black people that make it and are successful. No. You teach them if there is a deficit, but if there is an abundance that you need to have take advantage of, you need to humble yourself and learn and listen and stop being so niggerish. That's real. That's real. It's a shame that if I'm a millionaire and I say, I want to hire you, most of you will say, I won't work for you because you're a sellout. You're a coon. That is a mental sickness. And if you don't get that sickness fixed and treated, black people, you will never rise to the place where you can rule this earth. Rulership happens when unity is a pervasive factor. This black fist is a symbol of unity in that it is not disunified but still connected. It is tightly connected, tightly unified, and is solid, impenetrable, impregnable. Learn how to walk with that fist high and your other hand in your brother's hand. That's the way we're going to resurrect this nation. Not fighting, selling beef because you're not relevant.